The Rescue Princesses. Chapter 5. Jamenta's Jewels. The four princesses dragged King Goodland down to the garden shed the following morning, telling him all about their deer on the way. They had dressed quickly, throwing on dresses and plain silver tiaras. The morning sun beamed across the garden and made the tops of the castle turrets sparkle. "We put it in here, Your Majesty," explained Lulu. "It seemed like a safe place." She pulled open the shed door to show the deer resting on its bed of straw. "Goodness gracious!" said King Goodland. "It needs some time for its leg to get better," said Clarabelle. King Goodland nodded. "You've put it in the right place. It will be nice and peaceful in here."
"But why would anyone put out a trap for animals? It's such a horrible thing to do," said Emily.
"Trapping is forbidden in Mistburg Forest," said the king. "Maybe you were mistaken. Maybe the deer tripped on a branch." Emily's mom and dad arrived. They'd seen them from across the garden. "Girls," interrupted Emily's dad, "leave the king alone now. We haven't even had breakfast yet."
"But—"
Emily wanted to mention the trap again, but the grown-ups were already turning away.
"Good morning, Your Majesties," said a whiny voice.
Prince Samuel, dressed in his orange vest, walked over to them. He held a straggly piece of damp material out at arm's length, as if it was something disgusting. Emily looked at the material and her stomach lurched. She had a feeling there was something she had forgotten. Something important.
"I found this at the top of the zip line," said the prince with a smirk. "I just wondered if it belonged to anyone." "Emily," cried her mom, "is that your cloak?"
Emily grabbed the soggy cloak from the prince.
"I must have left it there last night."
"Thank you, Prince Samuel," said Emily's mom. "Emily, I would like to talk to you."
"You said I could go on the obstacle course," said Emily. "I just forgot about the cloak."
Queen Maria shook her head. "Of course you're allowed on the climbing equipment. Exercise is good for you. But honestly, Emily, you're not supposed to run off and play in the middle of a banquet."
"I'm sorry," said Emily. "I only planned to be gone for a minute."
"You need to put your princess duties first. Remember what you should be doing, and look after your belongings properly." Emily sighed.
"Yes, Mom."
The Queen's face softened into a smile. "Let's go back inside. I hear the cook is serving blueberry muffins for breakfast." Luckily, the rest of the day was free from curtsying practice, although Emily had to take her wet cloak down to the laundry room to be cleaned. The princesses spent some time after breakfast feeding their deer. Then they gathered in Jamenta's room in the east tower. Jamenta's four-poster bed was draped with shimmering green and gold cloth. Her dressing table was covered with silver tools all neatly lined up, including a small screwdriver and a chisel.
"I can't wait to see these amazing jewels," said Emily.
"They're very special," replied Jamenta. "Where I come from, by the Silver River near the eastern mountains, we love to collect precious stones. If you chisel them into shape correctly, you can use them in all kinds of ways." She pulled the curtains across the window to darken the room and put a large gold jewelry box down on the bed. The other princesses leaned in closer. "These are the ones that give out light." Jamenta carefully pulled back the lid. Light burst from the shining jewels in all the colors of the rainbow. They lit up the dark room, making it seem like a cave full of treasure.
"Wow!" cried the princesses.
"Now I'm trying to see what else I can do with them. See?" Jamenta opened a smaller jewelry box. picked out a round ruby and put it into the palm of Emily's hand. The jewel rested there, gradually warming up until Emily felt like she was holding a little ball of fire. "It's so warm, it could definitely come handy in winter," said Emily. "That's good," said Clarabelle. "It gets so cold in winter, Rio, where I come from." "No need for extra heat in Undula," joked Lulu. "Our grasslands bake in the hot sun." "Well, I haven't invented a jewel that cools you down," said Jamenta with a laugh. "Not yet, anyway." Clarabelle smiled. "I don't think we would have found the deer last night without your bracelet. It was so bright." "King Goodland didn't believe us about the trap, though," said Emily. "He thought we were mistaken." Jamenta frowned. "It was definitely a man-made trap. It took me forever to get all those screws undone." Emily looked thoughtful. "If the king doesn't believe us, then maybe we should go out and find the trap and bring it back to show him. Then he can look for the people who left it." "Great idea," said Lulu, and the others nodded. "Let's hurry," said Emily. "The sooner we show the trap to King Goodland, the sooner we can prove that we were telling the truth about the deer all along." That's the end of chapter 5. I love you, girls.